I survived 100 days of war, but the man who entered it died long before the end. 100 days, day 1. They woke us before dawn. The barracks smelled of wet boots, sweat, and fear. The commander shouted as if we were already guilty of defeat. I didn't yet know where the war was, but I felt it. It was already here. Day 2. They handed out rifles, old ones, worn. Other people's initials carved into the stocks. Someone had held them before me, maybe someone who never came back. Day 3. They taught us to dig. Not to shoot, to dig. Your trench is your mother, the sergeant said. I dug until my hands stopped obeying me. Day 4. First march, 30 kilometers. One guy collapsed and didn't get up. They dragged him to the side. The column kept moving. Day 5. I learned to stay silent. Words were unnecessary here. They could make you weak. Day 6. First shot. Not at the enemy, into the air. Psychological preparation. My heart pounded like they were shooting at me. Day 7. First letter home. I wrote that everything was fine. I lied. Day 10. We moved closer to the front. The ground was black, like it had been burned. The air was heavy. Even silence sounded different here. Day 12. First shelling. The ground shook under my feet. I dropped into a trench and couldn't move. Someone screamed. Someone prayed. Day 15. We lost 2 guys. No names, just 2 down. Day 18. I stopped counting bullets. I started counting days. Day 21, night attack, darkness torn apart by flashes. I fired at shadows. Then I realized the shadows were firing back. Day 22. My hands were shaking. I don't know if I hit anyone, and I don't want to know. Day 25. The sergeant is gone. Another man took his place. Same harsh voice. Day 30. We got used to death. That was the scariest part. Day 33. Someone tried to run. They brought him back, in front of everyone. No one talked about escape again. Day 37. I dreamed of home. I woke up screaming. The turning point. Day 40. Orders came down. Hold the position at any cost. Day 41. Shelling without pause, dirt raining into the trenches. We dug deeper. Day 42. Attack. They came in waves. I saw faces. I saw eyes. Day 43. The fight lasted for hours. When it ended, half of us were gone. Day 44. Counterattack. We moved forward, without fear, because fear was already gone. Day 45. I was wounded. Shrapnel in my shoulder. I stayed. Day 46. The medic said, "You're lucky." I didn't feel lucky. Day 50. They gave us rest, 2 hours. I sat and stared at a wall. Day 52. New recruits. They looked at us with respect. We looked at them with pity. Day 55. Another fight. More losses. Second half, day 60. I couldn't remember who I was before the war. Day 63. The commander said, "Victory is close." No one believed him. Day 67. We found a burned village, empty houses, a toy in the mud. Day 70. I couldn't eat. Food had no taste. Final act. Day 75. Major offensive. Artillery ripped the sky apart. The ground burned. Day 76. We broke through. The losses were terrible. Day 77. Only 3 of us left together. The rest were gone. Day 78. We were surrounded. Ammunition running out. Day 79. Night. Silence. We waited for morning like a sentence. Day 80. Breakout. We ran. Fell. Ran again. Day 81. Only 2 of us survived. Day 82. He died in his sleep. Last days, day 85. They moved me to the rear. I felt nothing. Day 87. New orders. New uniform. Same eyes around me. Day 90. I understood. The war doesn't end when you leave the trench. Day 95. Last letter home. I wrote that everything was fine again. Day 99. Silence. Real silence. Terrifying. Day 100. I'm alive. But the man I was on the first day stayed in that dirt, along with 100 days that can never be forgotten.